hope you're having a great day today. Today is Friday. Happy Friday morning to you. I hope that your day is going well. Today is usually it's our Gather Your Fragment Friday. I call it the gathering place, not the gathering place. That's the only sign I can find from Hobby Lobby. I have the word gather in it. So it's usually Gather Your Fragment Friday, where the part of the week where we gather together things to make meals for our families out of what we have. Well, today we're doing something, actually this whole month we're doing something a little bit different, and I'm doing some freezer meals because I like freezer meals. I like fresh meals. I like cooking. That's why I do these videos, because I enjoy doing it. So I do it by myself because I enjoy doing it. Sometimes life though gets busy, and I find that through the fall and winter, usually with school and stuff, we've got a lot going on, that it's so much easier to have some meals in the freezer on hand, just to grab out, either, you know, mostly done, so I can just throw in the pressure cooker, put in the oven, and not even think about making for that day. So that is why I love freezer meals. We've done dinners, lunches, and breakfasts. So here's my big giant list that I planned out like a couple months ago for all the things I was gonna make. We're almost down to like 2 weeks left of, about 2.5, because there's always extra. 2.5 weeks left of freezer dinners, which is good. I'm gonna have to make some more. But now today I wanna do some snacks that I can freeze. Snacks like baked items is what I'm gonna call them. And so these will probably last in the freezer this month as well as into next month. I don't have to necessarily eat these all in 1 month. They're just things I'm gonna make and freeze. And so I haven't done a lot of baking so much. I mean, no, I'm sorry, I have been, because we've been making some different desserts and things like that. But things like cookies. Like I haven't made cookies. I haven't made cookies in a long time, probably since Christmas. Could be wrong. I don't like making cookies. If I had to have a baking job I don't like doing, it's baking cookies. I like making bar cookies. I like doing those kind of things that go in pans that just throw in the oven, they're easy. But to scoop out the cookies, I'm like, and I'm sure I've done it within a year, but just not my favorite. But today is gonna be my day to do what I do not like to do. So even though this is a freezer meal, I'm also doing a Gather Your Fragment freezer meal. So I wasn't planning on some of these, but I remembered that I have all of these pretty chocolate chip, peanut butter chips, things like that I got different times at the discount store. So I have s'mores. So we've made these one time, and I'm like, okay, I'll make those. So I'm gonna make batches of those. We had peanut butter ones. They're like $1. Like, you can't beat these for $1. So we're gonna make the ones on the back that they recommend. Same thing with the other ones. Drop that on the floor. As well as regular chocolate chip cookies. We're gonna do some chocolate zucchini bread. Remember that chocolate zucchini bread I made this last summer? So good. So I bought my tiny, I should have just went to a farmer market, but I ordered it from Walmart. So, you know, I paid, I don't know, maybe $1 for these. I know, it's sad. I probably could have got a huge one. My tiny little zucchini. I actually used frozen zucchini last time because it was in my freezer and just ground it up, didn't I? I did. But we're gonna make that today. We're gonna make some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, a staple in our household since the beginning of the Maryon household. Love them. Been eating them forever. Never changed the recipe. Love them, love them, love them. My older kids, Ashlyn, still loves chocolate chip pumpkin muffins. So we're gonna make a batch of those. I'm just gonna do a smaller scale. My kids are like, oh mom, we're gonna have so much food. I'm learning to downsize, and like even my dinners, like people see those one pans, are like, is that enough food? Oh, it's enough food for us. That like is plenty of food. We haven't had where there's been a ton to throw away, which has been good. The only thing I found that I've made in the freezer meals that we're throwing away is I went a little overboard on the pizza pasta dish, and I made a lot of those curly noodles, and that seems to be way too much. And so I'm learning, but the rest, plenty. Like there is not that much left over. So I'm downsizing, people. I'm feeling good about that, which is a good thing. So same thing with baking today. I won't make the largest batch of pumpkin chocolate chip muffins that I have normally done, where I don't even know, there's like hundreds, 120 probably. There's so many. But I'm just gonna make like 1 can of pumpkin. But not a mini can, like a giant can. The regular bigger size pumpkin. So we're gonna be more downgraded because we're not as huge as a family. Even though I have 10 kids, I'm only really making food for 6 of them. Greg is busy working, I am busy working. Most of the time it's just the 6 kids. And so, and Evan's here too, but he doesn't always eat, you know, the food. He gets his own stuff. So he can, but he just doesn't always. So downsize on that. So we're making those. I'm gonna make pumpkin pie energy bites. I call them energy bites. I don't know if they're actually energy bites, but they're so good. Last year, thank you, someone put my recipe for me. I remember found it on a website and made it once and absolutely loved it. And so it tastes like pumpkin pumpkin pie, but they're just a healthier version. So we're gonna make some of those. Energy bites, we have made those since the beginning of time. I haven't made those in a long time, so we're gonna make more of those. I'm gonna make some dark chocolate snacks for myself. Selfish, I know, selfish mom. But you know when you get those chocolate cravings, not too often, but when you do, you're like, I want some chocolate. So I made these things. One year we got Ghirardelli chocolate. They had the huge bags. I mean, I'm talking the big ones you get at Sam's Club for $2, and they were in the summertime at our discount store. And I remember going, oh my goodness, I know these are so expensive. There's the oven saying, hurry up and get cooking, Amy, because the oven is ready. So I remember getting those, and we had so much dark chocolate, so much. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And it was years ago. I don't even think I vlogged then, did I? I did my blog. I did my blog because I had this recipe on it. Basically, I was using up chocolate. So I put together, like, I remember, like, I like chocolate, but I don't necessarily like crave chocolate candy bars, things like that. But I remember my dad would always eat Chunky. Remember the Chunky candy bar? Like, it was like a square, and it had, I think, peanuts, raisins, and chocolate. I think that's all it was basically, but it was so good. So I make a chunky version of my own, and I put, and I have to look, make sure what I put in it. Pretzels ground up. It was almonds, wasn't it? Almonds, I don't know. I put sea salt almonds in there, and then I put cranberries in it. Put cranberries, and you keep the kids out of your chocolate mamas. I don't like raisins. And just make a blob of it and freeze it. I might put it in little containers, depending on what I can find. I might, oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to do some looking and see what I have. But something for me. It's me. It's selfish me. So that's gonna be my chocolate treat today. But if, you know, like Jaden likes dark chocolate, she might like that too. So things like that. Mommy selfish treats. And then we're gonna make, you know, good old fashioned, where is it? Where is it? It's underneath my paper. You know, box brownies. We love box brownies. Homemade. That is love as much as box. So box, and you can freeze those. We're gonna make them in our little muffin pans and freeze those. Those are something we're gonna make. We're also going to make chocolate chip cookies. What else? And anything else I come up with. But that is the game plan right now. And I've got my, and that's it, right? Yes. Sorry, lots of cookies. Cookies, cookies, cookies. And then I've got my dinner out, my breakfast, lunch. Breakfast is gonna be, there's a lot of leftovers in the refrigerator, like things we've gathered through the week, like breakfast burritos, egg sandwiches, that kind of stuff. I'll use those up. Lunch is gonna be the puff pastry. I pulled that out yesterday, put it in the refrigerator. I did, didn't I? I did, let me check. All right, I did. Puff pastry, sandwich, we're gonna make that today for lunch, and then dinner's gonna be creamy chicken breast with stuffing. So that's in the refrigerator thawing. It's been thawed, so that's gonna be an easy day for me. So it is early, it is 6 o'clock. It is 6 o'clock in the day. I keep looking over here because that's where my clock used to be, but I took it down. You know when you put a tick a clock down and you constantly look at that place looking for the clock and it's not there? Even though you have a clock here, you always have a clock in your phone. My kids are like, do we even really need the clock? We probably do somewhere, I just don't know. I like to have the number clock for like my kids learning to tell time, because they probably will never see a regular clock in their life. True? Because you always have a phone or a tablet, so with the numbers on there. So we'll put it somewhere, but for now, sit on my table, and I'm like, what time is it? So it is 6. I got my air conditioner cranking because it's gonna be 1,000 degrees with that oven on, and we're gonna do some baking today. So I'm excited. It's the last of this month's freezer meal making day. I'll probably have a couple weeks off. A freezer, we'll still gather fragments, and then I'm gonna do some more because I love, 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 love having freezer meals. But we'll see. So today we're gonna be doing this, getting this all done. I'm excited to make it. So you guys ready? I have got my earbud. Check, put in your ear. Took an allergy pill, can you tell? I'm all sinusy. Coffee, first cup, only about halfway done. Ooh, I know what I need to make, the good whipping cream. If I remember today, try to remind me. I know you guys can talk to the camera. And then I'll view it, post it a week later, and then realize, oh, I forgot to make my coffee creamer. Coffee creamer with whipped cream, whipping cream. Oh, so good. I'm gonna try to remember that today. Get my stuff rolling, and we're gonna get going with our day. So let's get done, because I wanna get done. It's supposed to be a gorgeous day. Finish up here, and I can finish up editing, and I can get my kids to the park and enjoy some sunshine. So let's get going, making some food. You ready? Kitchen's wiped up, dishes are here from yesterday. Kids are gonna finish those up. We're just gonna make a bunch. We're just gonna get it going. Baking, baking, baking. That's the name of the game today. All right, let's go. All right, first thing we're gonna make is the easy one. Let's do the easy one. Maybe easy, not easy for everybody. So brownies in a box. Yes, brownies in a box are good. I'm gonna follow the recipe on the back. This kind, and we like any kind, just brownies in a box. So I'm gonna take whatever the recipe is in the back. I'm using coconut oil. People ask where you get your coconut oil from. I like to bake. I like to do most of my baking with coconut oil. You can use vegetable oil. It's one of those things like, you know, it's not that good for you. Like margarine, like this time around I bought real butter, you know, because I used to buy margarine, and that's okay to buy margarine. Just certain things I'm trying to weed out. Does it make you a failure if you cannot? No. I was like, this is $5, or you can literally get 2 of these for $2 at Walmart for the margarine, and I'm like, ugh, I know this is better. So, and it does make a better cookie. Coconut oil is better for you than the vegetable oil. This I get at Big Lots. Go to, you can go to, like, Sam's Club sells like a tinier one for like $10. Crazy ridiculous. I usually get a big 5-gallon container. I haven't ordered, like I used to get it from a bulk food store where I'd have to place like a $500 order, but I haven't done that because I don't want to store that much stuff right now. Probably should, but I don't. So these, oh, it's actually $12. This I get at Big Lots, $12. This is a lot of coconut oil. It used to be Butcher Boy is the kind I used to get up in the Amish store, and so now it's this one. This is like what we use. It lasts forever and a day. I always go in there and then grab a few just to have on hand. So coconut oil, $12 from Big Lots. Go check out Big Lots, they got this. So this is the oil I'm gonna use. Water and eggs, just gonna mix it in a bowl. This is really simple. I won't even put the recipe on the screen because it's on the back of the box. There you go, you can screenshot the box if you want. Or just go buy yourself some brownie mix and you can make it. All right, let's mix this up. How I organize my baking is I take and I put the recipes written on little sticky notes. I have them sitting over here on my counter. So as I'm making, I take the sticky note and throw it away. So I don't have to do it. And I know that I'm getting done, kind of like a list, but sticky notes. Next, I'm going to do pumpkin chocolate chip muffins. Super simple. We've been making these forever. Now remember, when you have your eggs, if you have baking, like I know back in the day when we did baking, and I remember thinking, okay, I have to ration out my eggs and make sure, like I just went and bought extra eggs to make sure I have enough. But if you have like, you don't have that many, you can put like 1 less egg in most of your baking things. Cookies might not be able to, but like breads, muffins, you can cut back on like 1, as well as like sugars. When the recipe says 2 cups of sugar, you can put like 1.5 cups of sugar and not really notice a change in there. So just put that into consideration. You always want to be good with baking soda and baking powder. Don't like falter on those. Flour, you can do a little bit of less flour as well if you didn't have any, but mostly the sugars you can keep out. If you don't have any oil, you can use applesauce as a good thing to kind of use instead of oil. Like applesauce in brownies is really good too. It actually is really good. I remember having a lot of applesauce and I use that instead of oil. That worked good too. It's not exactly, they're more cake-like, but it does work. So lots of alternatives you can use if you're running low. Do like a quick Google, like low on eggs, baking, and then it'll tell you what you can do as well. So, all right, let's mix up chocolate chip pumpkin muffins in here so I can put them in the oven next. Ooh, by the way, can opener. Remember I bought that wonderful, I don't even know where it is. Where is the can opener? It's not even in here. Well, remember that good can opener? Not that I bought at Walmart. When I looked at Walmart, I had KitchenAid, but I didn't like see, like, I don't know, it just didn't feel good. But I went to TJ Maxx yesterday and I found this for $10. So I will let you know. I saw the swing away ones. Okay, that feels a little better. We'll see. They're just not that good. They're like this is plastic. Like the last one I had was made in the USA and it was all hard metal. I should have saved it and sharpened it, but I didn't. So we're gonna see how long this one is. I know you guys gave me suggestions, and there was one like a swing away on Amazon, and I remember looking it up and reading reviews, and they're like, this is not the swing away can opener. So we'll see. But this is working. Oops, I just slipped. This is actually good. We'll just see how this works. But for now, we're on to KitchenAid. Let's see how long. I did laugh. I was reading the comments on the reviews for the can openers, and they're like, seriously, in what is it, 1940 they said can openers were invented, or 1930, whatever it was. They're like, in 70 years time you need to tell me they have not figured out how to make a good can opener with all the inventions of life. You would think that they would have a good can opener. So true, because can openers, like, I don't know anybody that has the best. Some of you say that use like Pampered Chef forever and a day, and those are good, but can openers, like, you should be able to buy one at the store and it works, but it doesn't. So, all right, let's mix some of these up. All right, so I've got my brownies are almost done. The pumpkin muffins I just put in the bottom. We'll let those bake. I'm gonna move on to mixing up my cookies because if I need to let them sit if they're too soft, which it's just not very warm in here, so it should be fine. If your cookie dough is real smushy, put it in the refrigerator because when you bake it, it's better to be cold than smushy. So I'm gonna mix up chocolate chips. I found this recipe on All Recipes with 5-star reviews. I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna use my mixer right here. I don't usually pull this thing out except once a year, like now, or at Christmas time. That's it. Most everything I use a hand mixer because it's easier, but I do not like sitting here creaming up butter and sugar. So the mixer does a better job than I would do. It's just maybe with a bigger kitchen and I left it out all the time, I would use it, but since I don't, it's put away, so I just get it out when I do cookies. So let's mix up some chocolate chip cookies. All right, next one I'm gonna make is Hershey's s'mores. So I've got the chocolate chips in the oven and took the brownies out, I'm gonna make the s'mores. This is the recipe. I'm gonna put it up on the screen, take a picture for myself so I remember we'll add it to the mixer. I'm gonna double it so I can do 2. Okay, so the bad thing about making cookies is it takes a little bit of time. So I'm gonna mix up, I'm just waiting. I got a batch sitting here, got some in the oven, took some out. I'm gonna mix up the pumpkin bites. These are really good little energy bites. I'll put the recipe on the screen, all in the food processor. All right, don't mind the mess everywhere behind me. I'm gonna take these are great. I did different sizes. I don't care if they're not uniform. If most of you know me, I do not like making tiny balls, but just freeze these solid, throw them in a bag. They're so good. Now, they're not as sweet as like a real piece of pumpkin pie because there's no sugar, but definitely will take that craving away for something sweet. So I love these. They got the nuts in them, the dates, all good for you. So freeze these solid, and that's when I put my freezer and get my next batch of cookies. All right, next one I'm gonna mix up is these ones. Reese's peanut butter, basically a chocolate-based cookie with the peanut butter. It's all the recipe. All right, since we're on wait for cookie mode once again, it's kind of like it takes a little bit to get going, then once it get going, it goes faster. So the chocolate peanut butter ones are in here. Those look really good. I'm gonna mix up and chop up my stuff for my chocolate, dark chocolate, mom snacks, selfish snacks. Let's call them selfish snacks. I had very little. Look at how many pistachios. I just deshelled those, whatever that's called. I'm gonna put those in here. We've got roasted and salted almonds. And then I'm gonna, here's some pretzels. I have fresh ones. Let's just make sure these aren't bad. Okay, those are okay. I'm gonna chop this up first. Well, actually, let's do it all together. Do the nuts first because they're gonna be a lot harder to chop up. Plug it in too. All right, then I have some pretzels. And then they go get in the bag. Perfect. Let me get a mixing bowl. If you just wash it, make sure you dry it out. I've got this, I forgot about this, the coconut chips. They're a little bit crispy. I don't know how big these are. Let's see. These might be okay. Let me chop these up a little in the food processor. Tried my cranberries, they were yucky, so I had to throw those out. It was too much. So I'm gonna melt chocolate and pour it in here and just make little drops of delicious chocolate balls or chocolate blobs. All right, I started thinking about it and I was like, last time I did them a lot more gooier, but this is actually gonna work. I was gonna just do little blobs, but when Mama wants a piece of chocolate, she doesn't want just like a bite of chocolate. You want like a candy bar of chocolate, correct? So this is perfect. These, I'm gonna just push down the tops a little bit. Not that, like it's not gonna obviously set, push down because it's not super liquid, it's more chunky. And then I'm just gonna put these in the freezer. And then I can put these in a bag, and this will be just selfish. Let's call them selfish treats. Can we do that? Selfish treats for mom. Can we name something for us moms? I'm not a big sweet I mean, I like sweets, don't get me wrong, but mostly salt. I can make cheese, salt and pepper chips. Ugh, the best ever. Aldi only has them once a great year. I think it's coming in the summertime is when I see I had them. But this is a good little treat. There's plenty here. Look at that. So these are selfish treats. Selfish treats for mom. So I'm gonna put these in the freezer, and then we're gonna get cookies going. All right, so I take back my first thought of I'm not gonna make that much of the food. Yeah, there's a lot of cookies over there. I was like, oh my goodness. But cookies are not something I love making, because you gotta get out your mixer, you gotta mix it all up, you know, wine. I'm not whining, I'm just telling you, it's a little bit more work just to do one batch. I can see why Nestle Toll House is famous, because you can just go buy it at the store, it's already made, it's like $5. So, but this works good. Let me wash my hands, hold on. There's like cookies all over my floor. Baking day is messy in my household. Like, there is food all over the floor, but I will clean it all later. So the cookies are great, because my table is gonna be full of cookies, like full of cookies, which is good, but you just freeze them. And if you look, in reality, there's 6, there's 7, say there's 8 people that eat a cookie. 8 of us eat a cookie. If you have 2 cookies, that's like 16 cookies. So that's like wipes out a whole lot of room over there. So I'm gonna just wrap them up and freeze them, and then I'll just take them out, put them on a plate, and we can have cookies all month long, pretty much into November as well. So there's plenty of treats. So if you can also just mix up, like the time that takes a lot is mixing in the mixer. I mean, it doesn't take a lot. I shouldn't say it takes forever, because it really doesn't, but you can just mix up the dough and then put that in a container and freeze it. Just like you buy refrigerated dough, you can freeze your dough and then just put it in the refrigerator when you're ready to use it, and then use it that way. I've done that before too. This to me is just heat up my oven once, because like right now I'm sweating. Can you see? I'm sweating. See the glistening? No, I'm just kidding. I'm glistening, sweating. I got my air on, and I just looked outside and it's raining. I'm like, ugh, I didn't know it was gonna rain today. But obviously, does it show rain today? It doesn't, but it obviously is going to rain today. So we got some rain out there, which is okay. So this makes good getting baking done. My list is going down and down. Crumble another one up. What else do I have? I have hot cocoa mix, energy bites, and my chocolate zucchini bread. So I will get these cookies, put these over here, and maybe start mixing up my energy bites, because the oven's still going and I still got more cookies here. So let's put the cookies over here on the table. All right, so I'm gonna mix up, because I'm waiting on the cookies. There goes water. I'm gonna make some energy bites. The energy bites are delicious. We haven't made these in a little while. Basically, it's honey and peanut butter, and you mix that together, and then you add in oatmeal and coconut, flaxseed, and chocolate chips. So I have, it's a third a cup of honey. I think this is gonna be about double, because I'm gonna use a whole one of these and some of this and just mix it together. It'll be delicious. The honey's the good sweetener. So basically double it. Yeah, I'll about double it. Just so I don't have to measure this out, and I can just use this whole thing, because that's what I bought it for. So put the peanut butter with this, mix it up really good and smooth, and then add in your coconut, your flaxseed, your oats. You're gonna make it into balls. It's really, really simple and delicious. All right, so cookies are still going. I'm almost done, which is awesome. Next, I'm gonna mix up my chocolate zucchini bread. I'm gonna put it right in the cookie chocolate bowl because less cleaning right now. So I'm just gonna mix this all up. I already pureed all of my zucchini. Just add it on here. This is really, really good and moist. Like one of the best zucchini breads I've ever made in my existence of life. All right, the cookies are done. It's been about 3 hours since I started and I have a whole lot of cookies, which is awesome. What, 2, 4, 5 batches of cookies. 5 batches of cookies, a big batch of muffins, 2 boxes of brownies, and then I've got my zucchini bread in the oven. Made my chocolate crunch mommy selfish snack and the pumpkin bites. Now I'm gonna make energy bites, put those on like into balls and put on my cookie sheet, and then I'll mix up one more thing. All right, I've been doing dishes over there. Nice and sweaty. Dishes over there. Talking about sweaty while you're making food sounds gross, Amy. But the last thing I'm gonna do, so these are all freezer things you can freeze and have for later. You can do granola bars as well. One of the things we like to have for the cooler weather, which is not cool today, is hot chocolate mix on hand. And so my kids love to make their own hot cocoa. It's really simple to make with simple ingredients. I use dry milk, cocoa, regular sugar, powdered sugar, and coffee creamer, non-fat coffee creamer. And I'm just gonna mix it in my bowl, put it in a jar. When they go to make it, they'll put like 2 or 3 like scoops into their mug, and that's perfect. I also like to make chai tea. I made this last year, still good. I don't drink that much, so there's a whole lot in here. It stores nicely, really tastes good. I've got that recipe on my blog, which you can go check out, plain.soplain.com, for chai tea mix. Really good. I'm gonna put this in a smaller container. I always forget I have it, so if I put it in my coffee cupboard over here, I'll remember I have it. So I'm just gonna mix in the big bowl, probably do double, so that the kids have a lot of, depending how much dry milk I have there. I've got a little bit left here, depending how much I have, and then we'll make a big old thing of hot cocoa mix. All right, tastes like hot cocoa. Great, easy way for the kids to make their own. I'm just gonna pour these back into my glass jars here that have the milk, and then I'm gonna have instant hot cocoa for them. All right, so I've got my kitchen cleaned up. Always feels good. I'm like, all right, so I'm just waiting for the bread in the oven to bake. I pulled out lunch today. It's gonna be the puff pastry, so freezer meal, all I'm gonna do is put it on a cookie sheet and then I'm gonna brush it with butter and everything bagel topping. That's gonna be lunch. Okay, I didn't make up my whipping cream and that's okay. I just kind of cleaned out my refrigerator. Saw what we had to do. I got dinner out and my lunch I'm gonna put in the oven as soon as the zucchini bread is done. I'm making my little container full of tea. Seems like usually about 2 days it takes me to drink this little jug up. I know I should have more, but that is just not the case lately, so that's okay. And then I have some limes here. I'm actually gonna put a couple limes in with my tea as well. So I'm just gonna put this in here. It's just raspberry zinger herbal tea and some limes. Let this sit and then I can just drink from here today. Now after that, gets all, you can see it's all red, I'll put it in the refrigerator and just put over some ice, and that's how I'm gonna get my water. And I ate those rice cakes with the everything bagel topping for breakfast. Otherwise, I'd be eating more cookies because I, had cookies. I think that, I'll show you the cookies in a minute. I think my bread is almost done. Let me go check that and then we'll keep chatting. It is almost done, and then I'll take that out. I'll let it sit for a few minutes, and then I'll sprinkle it with powdered sugar. The cookies, let me show you what they look like out here. I'm not going to package any or show you how I'm going to package, but I will probably have the girls do that today. So this will be lunch right here. After, like you can see, it's only 9:45. This I'll put in after. I'll bake it. This will be sandwiches. I might show this to you. It depends on how much I get in. This is creamy chicken breast. That will be dinner tonight. In here, these are probably, oh yeah, these are probably ready. These are the energy balls. We'll just, look at the first. We'll put these in a bag. Then this is the chocolate from Mama's. Selfish, selfish food. That will be good. I'll put that in a bag. Nothing there. The cookies here, I think that these were the allrecipe.com recipe, like the #1 This is probably how my husband likes the cookies, where they're like that. That's just kind of, he likes, this was on the package of the s'mores. I like how these look a lot better. These are delicious. Brownies are always delicious. And then these taste really good. I was very surprised how these taste really good. So these are all, we're gonna be packaging these up, probably between pieces of wax paper. We'll put some on the little glass thing up there and put them out for this weekend. But this is a lot of delicious desserts. My kitchen's all clean up. Look at all the dishes. The girls are gonna come up there and do all this. So now here is all my notes. When I do my video, I'll have all my recipes here to put on the screen, but I've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner now. So this weekend, I'm gonna work on transferring this over to there because we still have a lot of freezer meals, a lot of breakfast and lunch, obviously, because we just did those, but there's still, oh yes, still lots of freezer meals and sandwiches. So here's the pumpkin ones. These are really good, just like a pumpkin pie. These can just go in a bag here. So I will get, after this is all done, I will take some of this stuff out and get a couple meals out for the weekend. Maybe I'll do some soup. Soup's always good on the weekend. Potato bacon chowder with some sliders. That's probably what I'll get out for the weekend to kind of eat. And then some dinners too, depending on how much we eat tonight. So that is gonna be it. All right, that's how you do once a month baking. So many more things that you can freeze, but like I said, I just do not like doing cookies. So for me to do all those cookies today, done, freeze them. The kids can eat them that way. So let me take this apron off and I'm going to put you down and let the oven keep finishing up, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it gets to the point of being ready to show you. All right, we decided to open all the windows up. I had the air cranking and then I realized it's pretty cool outside today. Look at that. Look at all these leaves. Woo, definitely had some rain. That was unexpected. So, everything zoomed, sorry. So we actually just opened all the doors. I was like, it's cooler outside than it is in the house. So I'm finished. I'm finished for my day. It's not even lunchtime yet, and I'm done. I'm finished. I edited today's video. I'm gonna add to it here, but then I'm done. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go chill with my kids for the rest of the day, get a few things done that I wanted to get done, but let me show you everything, how it all worked out. All right, look at this. This is the puff pastry. Look at that. Can you hear that? That's gonna be lunch today. Should I cut that and show you what it looks like? That's this. I left my oven open. This is almost done. That's creamy chicken breast. This is for dinner. I will just finish heating that probably about another 10 minutes. We'll have that for dinner. These are cookies. We wrapped up all those cookies in here. So I'm gonna leave these out here. We'll eat these in the next week, and then I'll put the rest in the refrigerator or the freezer. These are the chocolate zucchini cakes covered with powdered sugar. We just wrapped them up. And then in here is where we packed most of the stuff is in bags here. So freezing it, the cookies and the muffins, all that right here. And this will all be delicious stuff that we'll get to eat, which is good. These cookies, this will definitely go in the freezer. Just some of them in here for now. So basically it looks like this. Delicious layers of food. This is really good.